So a lot of people talk about downsizing, but do you think you could live in a tiny home? There's a new list of best states for tiny house living. Puts Minnesota at number 13, puts Wisconsin at 31.
Do you guys think you guys could live in a tiny home?
I just was having this conversation yesterday with my girlfriend, and
Yeah.
I do think that is something I could do. But it has to be in a sweet spot. Like, put me like in a mountain, put me like in, near a lake or a beach, something.
Heather?
So my husband and I also have this conversation, and I always say that I would like to live in a tiny home, like in my backyard by myself.
Just give yourself a little,
Like a little shed, like a little escape shed. Is that what that?
Yes.
Like,
You see that frequently though, like Airbnbs.
That's
and
my
stuff.
tiny home.
that's your tiny home?
No, he always talks about he wants to live in a tiny home. He wants to get rid of everything.
Yeah.
He wants to live in a tiny home.
Yep.
But it would be very tiny and very, very tiny, and I don't know that that's where I want to live.
Can't get the whole family in there.
Can you remember the kids in there?
Oh my gosh! And like have you ever seen the HGTV show Tiny House?
No,
Like they have like one fork and one plate and one, and it's just I get the commercialism and the materialism, but like it just seems like a lot.
So that goes into the remote lifestyle. So the off-the-grid lifestyle, which means, you're trying to minimize, you're trying to reduce your waste so you don't have as many things, don't have as much public utilities. So in theory, that sounds great. Makes you very easy for you to unplug your home. Again, open land. To what you were saying, Joseph, it had to be in the mountains.
Yeah, you need some outside space because you don't want to be cooped up in this.
And that's the part that kind of surprises me about Minnesota being number 13. Because when, again, I'm going to go back to my HGTV, when you see these tiny homes, they're beautiful. They are lovely, but they have these awesome outdoor spaces.
Right.
And I think it would be harder to have a tiny home here in Minnesota, especially with the winter and not having that extra space outside.
It's funny because they actually talked about that some of the states they thought would rank better, like your New York, your Delawares, they actually don't rank as well because they don't have as much space to build some of those.
You would think they would rank better because housing is so expensive there,
Right.
and that people would want to do that. But they don't have the space, and also they might not have the regulations. Like you can't just build a tiny house anywhere you want.
No. So they actually looked at a couple different factors. They looked at industry infrastructure regulations. So that would be like the number of tiny homes that already exist. Are there builders who would build those homes? Public interest. They actually said, how many people are Googling this in your state? Is this actually something popular? And then also I mentioned before the remote lifestyle rate, that off-the-grid lifestyle rank. And Minnesota actually ranked really well there. Ranked 4th out of 50.
I can see that.
In there.
Right.
You could pretty much get Wi-Fi now anywhere too because of some
can.
advances in
That's a good
technology.
point.
So like you could just set up and go.
Texas ranks really well
Texas
here.
ranks really well. So actually there are 3 states that ranked really well. These 3 states had 14 or more tiny house communities. That was Texas, Colorado, and Virginia. They had 14 or more.
That's where Joseph is taking his tiny house, Colorado.
It's tucked in. I'll get my one cast iron, my one pair of Carhartt jeans or something.
There you go.
What would we do though? Like with all the technology that we're so used to now, like all of a sudden that's got to go.
You got to break it.
Oh, yikes.
Okay, alrighty.
What are your thoughts? Drop us a comment below. We want to hear from you.
Buying a house, we know, part of the American dream.
There's a new Bankrate survey that shows nearly half of homeowners have at least one regret after buying their home. Yes? More. I think I would go with more than one. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's the unexpected bills that come along with it. Like you think you've got so much for a certain month, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I've got this bill and this bill and this bill. Oh, all of a sudden, what's that? The leak is roofing too. I got to get that fixed too. So all of a sudden you're like, wow, I got a money pit now.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of homeowning.
That's called homeownership.
It is.
It's part of the deal.
But maybe you just sort of had a rosier view of what you thought. Maybe if you bought a newer home, you thought, well, my washer is going to be fine, or my fridge will be fine, or any of those things.
Or maybe it is, you know what, too? If you're lucky enough to have, we were talking about like having to mow the lawn today. I don't want to mow the lawn. I've got to mow the lawn. I've got too much grass. It could be one of those things too.
Snow shoveling.
All those things, chores that come
So
along.
that's the cost of repairs or maintenance. So that's number one. Number two, you bought a house that was too small.
Ooh. And all of a
I
sudden
think
you're
that's
looking to upgrade?
interesting. That's probably for families, right?
Sure.
Especially during COVID when maybe kids were home or you needed to start working from home or those two things. But I thought that was interesting that it was house too small, not house too big. House too big was on the list. It was just further down on the list.
I guess you can probably figure out what number 3 is. Your mortgage is too high. I feel like Everyone's mortgage is too high. Let me refinance somehow. Yeah.
I don't know if I would regret buying a house because.
Yes, you need to. You need somewhere to live.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly because of those things.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Paying too much is number 4. I think that's similar
What's the
to
difference? Like you think that your rate was too high?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't. Maybe we shouldn't call this regrets, but just second
Well,
thoughts.
also remember Bankrate was the
Or
one that
annoying.
was doing this survey.
True.
And a lot of times these companies, they do these surveys because then they want to sell a product. So they
Right.
put it out there. We talk about it. And then you're like, oh, wait, let me go look at Bankrate and see what they're offering. So Bankrate is talking about, some people say that their interest rate is too high, that they are paying too much, that their mortgage is too high. So it probably is focusing on those things. But
that makes sense.
yeah, that makes sense. Location, that's another one.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Well, think about it though. Think about it. If you've done your due diligence, you try to do your research, and all of a sudden you move to a place, and you're like, I don't like this neighborhood because I thought it was going to be X, Y, and Z, and I'd need, A, B, and C. Your criteria is going to change. So for
Right.
sure, I think.
Or like the things that you don't know before you move in, like, oh, my neighbors are a little more like this than opposed to like this. Like we just had a friend who moved in, and she's like, everybody is like, of a high, they're, like more white collar than blue collar. Like I really liked my blue collar neighborhood, and we just moved, and I didn't know that everybody was going to be, going to the country club or all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's
I'm
one
like,
of those
that's
things
really
you don't
interesting.
know. You don't know it until you get there.
Yeah,
And
that's
I think
really
what happens
interesting.
too is you think, okay, well maybe I wanted this house, but that got taken, or this house, or this, and you say, I can move just a little further. I can do this, and then you're like, wait a minute, I did this. I don't know that it's right for me.
And all of a sudden you start thinking like, maybe this wasn't a smart decision.
Yeah. We want you to join the conversation, so leave a comment below. Let us know what you think.
This is the time of year when we like to spend a lot of time outside. So what do you like your outdoor space to look like?
There's a new research survey from Talker shows that when it comes to the most popular exterior home trends, people say they want a backyard sanctuary. They want to add fire pits or other outdoor heating elements. They want to make their spaces more private. I would like to add a giant ocean.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah, I like
Water.
that.
A giant ocean,
Yeah,
and
let's
that
bring it
would be
in.
my most
Call it.
wonderful outdoor space on
That
the
would
beach.
be perfect. But maybe a water feature could
Okay,
help
fine.
a little.
Water feature is
in the
second
budget,
best.
Second
right?
best.
Yeah.
My
I was-
beachfront property is not in the budget.
I was actually on board with this because I was
Yeah.
thinking I want something that's like I want an audio. I want something that's like a nice audio
yes.
for my backyard.
Yes,
Something
to
that's
keep it
kind of
kinda
peaceful.
zen.
And so like water for me is
Yeah.
maybe that beach wave, something like
I'm
that.
thinking of the colors too, because inside my house I like a lot of green plants, but on a patio I want color.
You want to pop a color.
I want pop. Yep.
Yeah. I want a hammock
That's-
too.
okay,
I want a
hammock's
mock.
good.
I want a mock.
mock.
I see these people mocking
Yeah.
in the park, and I'm
Yes.
like, I really want to do that.
Yeah.
So a nice little swing.
I don't know if this was a pandemic thing, but I think just finding that like sanctuary
Yeah.
in your own yard where you
Yes.
have like your own
In
slice
your
of the
own
sky that you
space.
can enjoy.
Yes.
It became very
Kind of
popular.
meditate,
but
yeah.
As a kid, I just wanted like a basketball hoop. Now I'm like,
True.
Yes.
give me something that's relaxing and quiet.
Yes. I think a porch swing is big too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joseph wants birds in his trees, so he can just listen to the birds be singing all morning.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed WCCO's Talk of the Table.
Be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.